So the redesign of the application is really designed to make everything more user-friendly, to make it so that someone can pick it up. It not only looks a lot nicer than what the current version does, but it's going to be more intuitive. Somebody who have never used Leap before should be able to pick it up and know the roundabouts of how to use the application. There isn't real hidden things in it. Like the current version, you really have to have someone show you how to use it, or at least it's some of the feedback that we have received. This one is designed to eliminate all that. All the current features that you're used to using are staying, so none of that is changing. You don't have to panic. This is just really a redesign with some additional features being added to it. Like I said, everything's more user-friendly, easier navigation through the application, and we added a little bit more functionality, which I'll get to here in a couple slides. So the first thing I wanted to show you is the new home screen. This is a screenshot of the new home screen, and the first thing you'll notice is we've divorced the estimates and customers. Before, in the current version of our application, the customer is inside of the estimate, and the home screen starts at the estimate. But now we divorce them. So the estimate is by itself, and then the customers is a separate tab. And in the customers tab, you will have today's appointment. So when a rep logs in, they will click on customers, or it will actually just show them customers automatically as a default when you open the application. And it's going to load all of the appointments for today. All the little icons, the car works just like the car does now with the navigation. The little info button will show you all of the notes that come directly out of your CRM or any notes that you have added to that appointment. And then the little tag icon, you can click on it and it'll take you right to create an estimate for that customer. We also put recent estimates on here. So this is some of the feedback that we received. Sales rep goes out and runs an appointment. He wants to get back into it, or he forgot to result the lead and he wants to go back to that original appointment, later on in the day to pull it up and result it without accidentally creating a new one from the calendar. Well, now all of the recent estimates that they have done is going to be right here on the home screen. And another really cool thing about this is when you click the info button on a recent estimate, it will show you the lead results from when you resulted the appointment. So if I want to go back and say, did I sell this one, or what was the note or the follow-up piece that I needed on that, I can just click the little info button on my recent estimates, and it will show me if it was dispositioned, and if it was dispositioned, it'll show me all of the notes from the result. When I say disposition, that's the little results button that everybody's familiar with on the estimate screen. Improve workflow for custom products. So the custom product section has been completely ripped out and rebuilt from scratch. This is one of the parts I'm probably most excited about. We went back and forth with different mocks and our design team and our sales team and our marketing team, our development team, customers on how custom product should best work. And the way that custom product now, it's completely different. What's going to happen is you will be allowed to add new sections. So the term custom product is going to go away. You will have all your default categories like you do now. So all of this stuff will be backwards compatible with your packages and your categories and your price guide. All that stuff is going to work just like normal. It's just a little bit different interface. So in this screenshot that you're seeing, the top half is just a normal package where you can swipe between all of the different prices. The bottom half is the new custom product, and I'm putting that in quotes. So what it allows you to do is you add a section and you name the section. If you don't use custom products, then that section does not show up. So when I name that section, in this example of the screenshot, I named it Windows. And then I can add line items to only that section, and it will give me a total. I can then build kind of packages with each of these line items, so I can turn things on and off, which was something you used to not be able to do with packages. So, I could add line items and say, hey, let's give me a price with this one or without that one, or just hold off on that entire section or category. You can add as many sections as you want to an estimate, so as many custom product sections as you want with as many line items in it. So it adds a ton of flexibility and allows you to really on the fly. And what really Leap was this 2.0 version was designed is you don't even need a price guide at this point. You can just type everything in as individual line items. The price guide is just an extra cherry on top. So with that, we have also had feedback that when people are adding custom product items to the estimate, a lot of times they're always the same thing. So we have built a catalog that is specific to that user. So if they have some widgets that they want to price up and they do it often, I can add a thing to my estimate. And when I add it to the estimate, I will highlight the little add to catalog button. And when I hit the add to catalog button, it will save it so that I can retrieve it at a later date. And then that way I could just build out some line items that I might use frequently, a roofing replacement or an extra, tear off or, some other widget that, I want to recall later on down the road. I can save all of these items to basically an internal scratch pad or an internal catalog that is specific to each user. You can also create templates for these custom product groups. This was some feedback we've got where it's like, hey, I have these particular line items. I don't do packages. I just wanted to add these 4 things on every time I sell roofing, or these 3 things every time I sell gutters, etc. So we built a way that you can create templates in with your catalog. And what this allows you to do is you just you name your templates, and then in your templates, it has all the line items that you have saved to your catalog, and you can tag whichever line items go in there. So then I would say, okay, I want to add a roofing good template to my estimate. So you just go in there, roofing good, put your quantities of your line items and hit done. And then all of those items will get added to your estimate. You don't have to go in and type in all the data over and over again. And that's really, this is another slide showing you will go name all your templates. On the left-hand side, you have the good, the better, the best. And then on the right-hand side is what goes into each one of those templates. So it's all the line items that belong in the good, all the line items belong in the better, and then, of course, the best. The custom section, so this is a screenshot of how you would add a section to the estimate. So what would happen is when you're in the estimate section, you could hit add section, you give it a title, and this is kind of like a category. So the way that you're familiar now with adding all the different, all your categories will just show up, your roofing, your windows, your bathroom, your siding, etc. This will allow you to add additional sections to the estimate that aren't preloaded in the price guide. Once you add those sections, you can then start adding line items to those sections. We also, so this is another one, custom. This is probably my favorite part of the whole entire 2.0 package. So a lot of those previous slides were all geared towards custom products. Some of our customers use it extensively. Other customers might not use it at all. And if you're the latter, you might not use it at all, then you probably use our internal price guide with or without our packages. So packages are a way to predefine what product selections are going into each configuration, like a good, a better, and a best estimate for your reps. Well, in the current version of Leap, the one that you're used to now, you can have a custom package. And a custom package is you basically swipe all the way to the right, and then you can go in and edit, in some line items. Say, okay, I want this, style for this widget, and a different style for that widget. You basically build your own custom package on the fly. The downside to that, to the way that you currently do it, is anytime you flip off of that custom package, it resets and you lose all that data that you just saved in that package. You can also only ever have one custom package in the current version. Well, in this version, 2.0, we're rolling out the ability to do custom packages on the fly, and you can save them to the estimate. So I can go in and toggle line items on and off. So I can go in, I have my package the way that it is defined. Like in this case, it's a Berkshire package here. So let's say I tap on that package and say I want to edit this and customize it to my own. So then it'll bring you to a screen that looks like this. And it'll show you all the line items that you have added to the estimate. And it will allow you to select which option is going with each measure sheet item. I can also toggle line items on and off, which you can do that now. This is a much easier to use interface. It's much more, intuitive, and you can see the prices of each individual item. It tallies up the price of your package down at the bottom, so you can see what you're doing as you're going along. And once you're done configuring your package, it will ask you to name that package. And then when you name that package, I want to back up a couple slides, it will put it in line with all of your other packages. So then I can just toggle through. Now, in this case, I have 3 dots. I would have 4 dots because I have a custom package. Then if I went in and made another package, I could save it. Then I had 5 dots that I could swipe between. And then when I save that estimate at a later date, I could come back and retrieve that all of those packages that I've saved to that particular customer. So this is something that makes me want to get back in the home and do in-home sales, because I know this is something that I would have loved to have, and I'm pretty sure that you and your sales reps are going to love to use this functionality as well. So with this 2.0 update, there's a couple things that we're unable to show you in slides, but stability is one of them. So one of the things, asterisks on this thing, is Leap 2.0 is going to support iOS 13 and later. So anyone or any of your sales reps who are using an older iPad that only supports iOS 12, the 2.0 version is not going to work with them with this app. They will have to update to a new iPad so they can have iOS 13 or later. Just so you know, we're on iOS 14 right now. So we're supporting, an iOS that was released, 2 years ago. We squished a bunch of bugs when we were going through the application. We just looked at every line of code and, tried to make this thing super stable. Eliminated, crashes and just little bugs and quirks. We went through our backlog of tickets and crashes and kind of knocked out as many as we could with this 2.0 version. We also added some infrastructure under the hood for searching customers. This has been a pain point for us. Some of you might experience this, some might not. But searching for customers, right now you can only search by the beginning of a name. So if my name's Steve, STE would work, but, VE, would not. Like I couldn't search by the end of my name. So searching customers, we completely redid. It's all done under the hood, so I really can't show you screenshots on it. It's going to allow you to search by customer's name, first name, last name, any portion of the name. It will allow you to search by whatever you name the estimate. So you know how when you save your estimate, you can name it. So you'll be able to search by that. You can also search by the customer's address. You'll be able to search estimates by the customer's phone number and email address. So our searching functionality is much more robust, and it should be instant. When you search the customer, you should get instant results to come back. And we also made it so that when you search, the results that come back are in order based on the ranking of your search. So if you search by name, you might get like it might be somebody's name in the estimate name. Well, the search rankings, how closely it matches your customer, your estimate, is how the results will be returned. So it's something that just make it a little bit more convenient to search customers. So the underlying architecture, we've been scaling up, over time, our servers. Amazon Elasticsearch server. So all of our backend infrastructure is hosted on AWS, Amazon Web Services. The search functionality that I'm talking about that we're implementing is called Amazon Elasticsearch. This is coming out with our 2.0 version. All of this stuff is locked in AWS behind firewalls. We're continuing to keep your data secure. Expanded account services. We're doubling down internally on our support team to help you with getting your account to the next level. Everything in Leap 2.0 will be backwards compatible with what you're currently working, so you don't have to worry about your price guide, have to be changed, or your previous estimates. We have made a big focus on, as we're building all of this new functionality and redesigning the application, that is backwards compatible with everything that you're already working. The only thing you're going to have to get used to is just a little slightly new interface. But once you do, as soon as you pick it up, like I said, the feedback that we've gotten initially has been amazing. Everybody's been super excited to get this thing rolled out. So as far as what you should do right now, just don't panic. This, like I said, it's nothing that is real breaking changes. The only real breaking changes is just the user interface is a little bit different, but the biggest thing being the estimates are divorced from the customers. So you have to add your customer from one tab, and it immediately take you into creating an estimate. The custom product is different. So if you're used to using the custom product, this should be a welcome change for you, but you will have to learn how to use it because it's completely different than the way that you're used to doing it now. And then the packages. If you're using your packages like normal, there's no real different. If you wanted to use a single custom package like you do now, there's no problem there. There's just additional functionality with packages where you can add more than one of them. And the other thing is just, part of the reason we did this webinar now, and we only did it with slides, is because we're not at a point right now where we're ready to demo it live. That will come in the next webinar. It's actually my next slide. I'll show you guys. But we do want to get this out and let you know that 2.0 is coming. Make sure your sales team knows it. It's kind of a perfect segue into my next slide, which is what's coming next. So April 7th, we plan on doing another webinar In this one, we're going to do a live demo of the application. So we're going to do some fine tuning and get everything prepared on, exactly how this flow is going to go all this week. And then we have a webinar scheduled for April 7th to hook my iPad up to my laptop and give you, a tour beginning and end on what this is going to look like. Between April 8th and April 16th, we want you to participate in our 2.0 test flight version. What's really cool about this is test flight, for those who don't know, is a way that we can get you this version of the application on your devices and on your sales reps' devices as a separate application. So, we want to put a test out there with our customers. We've been testing internally like crazy, but now we want to get it out into the real world where your sales reps can test it. I highly, highly encourage you. This would be a huge help for us as well as yourselves to help us test this thing. And what will happen is you'll download an app called Test Flight. We will give you instructions on how to do this, and it will install a completely separate app icon next to the current icon that you're using. And you can use it with your existing account, and anything that you create in one version will work in the other. So if I create an estimate in one of them, I should be able to pull that estimate up in the other one. And, and it doesn't matter if I use the new one or the old one, the old one's the new one, right? And so the reason that we are doing this is so that you can have both apps installed in case you stumble across a bug or something that just won't work. You can notify us to let us know to fix it, and then just switch back to the original version. And then April 16th, we plan on doing another webinar with some high-level training of the new customizality. It's hard to say that. So we're going to show you how you can, use the custom products to customize into your estimates, and how you can use the custom packages to go into your estimates. We're going to show you how you can set all that up. And with that, I'd probably talk 100 miles an hour, but I will open this up to Q&A. I know we had a lot of people registered for this thing. You guys probably have a bunch of questions, so I'm here to answer them. Liz?
Wonderful. Thank you, Steve. I will actually take our first question. Somebody wrote in, is this going to be recorded and available to us for rep training? Yes. As Steve mentioned, there will be 2 more webinars over the next few weeks, and we will be providing PDF training resources with you all, so you can share those with your team. And Steve's first question. One of our customers would like to know, is this going to be included in OC ProSell?
Yes, that's a great question. So I just had a conversation with Owens Corning. You will get this functionality in Owens Corning ProSell. However, it is not going to be launched at the same time as the Leap version. So we got to get the Leap version out. There's a lot of changes in this version. That's why I highly encourage you to do the test flight. It will help us out enormously and help us get this out even sooner. But we want to make sure that that's all ironed out before we flip over ProSell into the new version. So yes, it will be in ProSell eventually.
Excellent. Next question. Will we be able to save estimates so that we don't have to redo it?
Yes, you can do that now though. So I might not be answering that question right. So if you want to elaborate, maybe you can type in another question, but you can save your estimates now.
Okay. Will there be the capacity to itemize the costs of each line in such a way that we can send it to the customer?
Yes, and I believe you can do that now as well. So if you want to know, we can get back with you if you wanted to chat in our support and ask the same question on our website, and they can show you how to make a template to do that.
Awesome. Okay, got a few more rolling in. All right, our next customer would like to know, will proposals automatically integrate all info into contracts?
Yes, but you can also do that now as well.
Okay. Next question. Will the old Leap remain available or will it disappear? Is the Leap 2.0 a different app we need to download, or will it just update on existing? Great question.
Great question. So initially, when we're doing the test flight, it will be 2 separate apps installed on the iPad. But you have to sign up to do test flight. You have to install test flight onto your device. It's an app for like developers to get the latest version of an application onto actual users' devices. So it's kind of, think of TestFlight as like a beta app store. And you open up TestFlight and there's like an app store, but you only have the things that people send to your devices. So it allows us to send you new versions of the application without overwriting your current version. Once we are satisfied that all the bugs and kinks or anything that is with the 2.0 version is ironed out, we would then push that to the real app store, and then everybody's devices would just auto update. So it will be the same app, and the old version will no longer be available. You will have to switch to the 2.0 version.
Right, and kind of a continuation off of that question, do you have a plan sometime in the future where we can toggle off a line item in an estimate instead of having to delete the item to reflect the price?
Yes, if you're talking about, so you can currently do that in, if you use packages. So in our new packages and new custom packages, you can toggle off all your line items as you need. And then in the custom product section, you currently, in the current version, you do not have the ability to toggle off line items. In the new version, you will have the ability to toggle off line items.
Next question, how much content can be made available offline for iPads when faced with low cellular connectivity at the customer location? Second part of the question, any changes or features with DocuSign integration?
Okay, so the stuff that can be available offline, it's easier just to tell you the stuff that's not available offline. So like what's available, your price guide, your contracts, your resources, I mean, everything is available offline except submitting your financing. So any financing with lenders or credit applications, you need internet connection. The Provia integration requires an internet connection. To fetch your appointments requires an internet connection. To capture a credit card or a check, that requires an internet connection. Other than that, everything else does not require an internet connection. And then the second part was what, Liz? I forgot. Oh, DocuSign.
Any changes or features with DocuSign?
Nope, there are no changes with the DocuSign integration. It will work exactly like it does now.
Are custom products going to be able to link to contracts?
Yes. They do now, but this one is going to be a little bit different because you're going to have sections. But if you wanted to link your current custom products to your contract, you can do that.
Awesome. Okay. Will there be an Android or Windows version?
Not in the near future.
All right, our next customer would like to know, we have had issues with results being submitted. Is this a bug that you are aware of, and will it be fixed with Leap 2.0?
I would hope it would be fixed in 2.0. I know we found a couple of them as we were redoing it, but I would need more specifics if you wanted to let support know what your issue is, and then we can take it from there.
Okay. Are there any updates to the back end, or are they just on the app, i.e. building price sheets?
Yep. So all the updates that are coming out in 2.0 is only in the iOS application. I will tell you that we are currently looking at overhauling the dashboard. So, who knows when, but at some point I would hope we're doing one of these webinars showing you the 2.0 version of the dashboard. But all these changes we're talking about is just the app, iOS app.
Right. Next, great question. Will this app work on iPhone?
Yes.
Simple enough of an answer. Awesome. We hope you guys will enjoy that new feature. All right, next question. Maybe have a possibility to save proposals or contracts so you can edit them later? I think that's also something we offer.
That has been a feature request we've had for a while. It is not in the 2.0 version, but I hope to have it at some point.
Great. Our next customer would like to know, will you be able to customize the overall look of Leap with regards to coloring and logos?
That's a great question. On the 2.0.0, no, but a 2 point something else, yes.
Wonderful.
So the initial launch, no, but when we were redesigning this, we built it with the idea of allowing you to customize the colors in the future.
Wonderful. All right. Did you say
I
we
love all
will
the
need?
questions.
Yeah, these are great questions, guys. Keep them coming. We got a few more minutes here. Did you say we will need new iPads with iOS 13 or later?
Yes. If you don't have an iPad that can update to iOS 13, you will need a new iPad.
Okay. Will logging into Leap no longer require a data connection?
No, you always will need an internet connection to log into the app.
Question here. Will the 2.0 be compatible for new vendor payment processing? Can we use any payment vendor, or will there just be one choice for payment processor?
Payment processors we currently support in our current version, as well as Leap 2.0, is, last I checked, I think it was close to 90-some credit card processors. So I'm not sure who you use. If you want to comment it in there, maybe I can know off the top of my head. But I know we have like 90-some credit card processors that we can tie into. If it's not in that list, then we can't.
Okay. All right. And we'll take maybe one or two more questions. And this is an excellent segue, considering the next phase of 2.0 will be, as Steve mentioned, our test flight. Mike would like to know, can we choose a specific salesperson to test flight, or does it have to be our entire staff? Great question.
Nope, you can have individual people. So what's going to happen is we're going to send out information on how to do test flight. We will send it out. I see the questions coming in about test flight now. We will send you a link where you can sign up to be part of the test flight. And you can give that link to anyone who you want to be a part of it. And you just send them that link. They'll put in their email. They need the Apple ID. They'll put in their email address. And they will get an invite from test flight to download it and instructions on how to download it. They would then download the test flight app. And then when they open up the test flight app, you'll see the 2.0 version of Leap in there. And it will say install. And then you just click install, and now you'll have the 2.0 version.
Awesome. And just to let our viewers today know, here in a moment when the broadcast ends, you will be asked a poll question, and you can submit whether or not you would like to participate in the test flight. Again, it is completely optional. This is just a period of time where we would love for you to jump in there, take it for a whirl, let us know your feedback, questions, and anything else you might find. So more information will be coming to you about that, along with, like we mentioned, plenty of training resource materials for you to pass along to your team. And with that, I think I'm going to ask our very last question. I'm going to call you out, Ryan Spencer. He would like to know, do you think you could beat me in an arm wrestling contest?
Me? I don't know. Probably not. Probably not
Steve,
arm
give
wrestling.
yourself more
Maybe
credit
other
than
things.
that. Awesome.
Maybe other things. I don't know. I have to see you, Ryan.
All right, we're going to get that set up. Okay, well, thank you everyone for joining us today. And like we mentioned, keep an eye out for more information, and we will see you next time.